One of the most common things I get asked from women about my body sex workshops is why do we have to be naked the whole weekend? Can't we learn to overcome physical, sexual shame? Can't we learn to celebrate our pleasure without a full weekend of nudity? To be honest, I feel like the answer is no. Shame literally means to cover or hide. So when we feel shame about something, we do whatever we can to cover that part. We don't want it discovered. It's different than just a dislike, a looking at our body and seeing parts that we're not very happy with, that we dislike, that we wish were different. Shame is taking all of those feelings, the dislike, the discomfort, the pain of those feelings, and putting them into ourselves so that it actually becomes the way we see ourselves. Shame in that way takes hold of you. And so we want to cover, we want to hide it from anybody else so that they won't see that that's who we truly are. An example I can think of where shame does this is in say, a heterosexual relationship. A husband and wife, and the wife carries deep shame in her body. Something I hear from women is that they think that their vulva is deformed, that maybe it's not completely symmetrical and one of their inner lips is longer than the other inner lip. Several women think that that's the cause of masturbating as a kid, that they've done that to themselves. So the shame of not wanting anybody to see that is so huge in them that they'll not only see this physical deformity, but that the person would know then that that's who the woman is, that's who she is. And so they want to hide it. Or a woman who's given birth and feels that her vagina is a gaping wound and that there's something wrong with it. She's sure she can see that it's something wrong with it since she's given birth, and she doesn't want anyone to see because then they'll really know. So in either of these cases, a woman and her interactions with her spouse, she might avoid sex, yet be totally horny and be masturbating to release this sexual tension when she's alone, but be terrified of doing this with him because she doesn't want to unveil herself. So she keeps her body covered. When she has sex, it's lights off or shirt on, or no, you can't go down on me. Or if he goes down on her, it's only just for a second because he can't possibly like it. And if he sees, God forbid if he sees or realizes that something's messed up down there, then he'll know about her. She can't cover it anymore. In this kind of situation, it's impossible for a woman to be relaxed, to let go, to embrace her sexuality, to feel free in her body, to really, really let go and celebrate her pleasure, because she's constantly worried about covering her shame. So her shame transfers into the bedroom and her relationship with her partner. Now the partner, on the other hand, he sees all this happen, and he might see changes in her body, or he might notice that not everything's symmetrical, just like my eyes aren't symmetrical, my breasts aren't symmetrical, my arms aren't perfectly symmetrical. Nothing in our body is. He might notice all these things, but just to notice them, it's just noticing them. He doesn't attach it with any sort of shame. It's just noticing. But he could think that the reason she's covering herself, that the reason she's avoiding sex with him, that the reason she can't let go is all on him. That he's not a good lover, that he's not enough, that she's noticed that his body doesn't look the same, that his belly's softer than it used to be, that he has love handles, that his back's hairy, all those things. And his feeling of rejection from her could transfer into shame for him. So in this way, the shame is bouncing back and forth between the couple, each person in the couple. And until one of them dares to unveil their shame and open up physically and verbally and emotionally to the other. That shame is running the show. There's no chance at an incredible sex life. There's no chance at fully letting go, at fully being in your body, at fully being seen, accepted, and loved as you are. It's impossible because we're expending so much energy to cover the shame. In men, this shows up often in erectile dysfunction. Maybe one time they lost their erection, and after that, the fear of losing it every time is just so prevalent that it will happen. But that shame, again, then the woman, it bounces back to the woman, and she thinks, oh, I'm no longer desirable. He doesn't want to have sex with me because I don't look as hot as I did before. So in this way, shame takes hold, and it takes over our experiences with ourselves and with other people. I mean, many women, even masturbating, don't want to actually have to touch themselves because then they're faced with the reality of what their body feels and looks like. And they have shame in that. They don't feel like it's okay. So again, it's just, shame causes us to really want to cover and avoid looking at what we really believe we are, or allowing other people to see it. So coming back to the workshop, when you walk in that door and you take off all your clothes, you are opening yourself up physically as you are. There's nothing to hide behind anymore. We will see what you look like, and you will see what the rest of us look like. But in that, after the initial fear, and it is terrifying, most women, I guess, not everybody, but most would attest that the first 10 minutes are terrifying. And when you take your spot, you're closed in. You don't want anybody to really, really see it. But once they do, and once you see them and you notice, she has that same stretch mark that I have, or look how curvy she is, but on her it looks so good. On me, I don't like, on me it just looks fat. And but you start to see that you love that person just as they are, because you form an incredible bond with these women in the circle over the course of these 2 days, and with nothing to hide behind, you are opening up that shame. If we kept our clothes on and we just opened ourselves emotionally and shared our shame, it wouldn't be the same, because we could still excuse them, their love for us, their acceptance of us as like, but they haven't really seen us. Because if they really did, if my clothes were off, then they'd really get it. Then they'd be like, well, yeah, like, you're a great person, but yeah, no, I get what you're talking about. So, but in this way, we have nothing to hide behind. We are as we are. And there's an incredible liberation in that. But it's taking a leap. It's jumping off a cliff. It's unveiling ourselves in all ways. But only when we do that are we able to truly celebrate our pleasure. When we can accept this body that we are in, and know that whatever physical issues we have with it, they aren't us. They're just part of the package that we're in. And it's freeing. It frees us to just say, this is me. Take it or leave it, but this is me.